Hello, Lake Wiley. My name is Gretchen Wyatt, and this is my daughter, Peyton Wyatt. Say hi.
Hi.
We've been chosen by Lake Wiley Children's Charity. We are the recipient this year of some financial generosity from the community and from our town and from just the hardworking folks at Lake Wiley Children's Charity. And we're here just to tell you all thank you, number one, and just kind of let you know what our story is. Because this is something a lot of people ask me, how did you know? How did you find out that Peyton has cancer? So we finally got a pediatrician during that time. We also needed to get scanned for her blood disorder if she had something I had. And they checked her over too and just said she had low iron and her white blood count was high and her hemoglobin was low and that she just might be having low iron. And so we just put her back on iron pills again. And then I was excited because we were going to Levine to let Levine check her out. So during this time, she was starting to turn a little yellow, losing a lot more weight, maybe a little purple lips. Just a lot of things weren't right with her. And so I called the pediatrician and I said, I need you to see her. She's yellow. She's now down to 25 pounds. These iron pills aren't working. And they said, I can't see you for about a week or two because of COVID. So during that time, I'm panicking. And they said, well, send her to the ER if she gets over, 104 temperature. So at that point, they called me back in about 30 minutes. The nice lady, I think she heard I was very scared. And she called me back and said, I can get you in for some more blood work.
The night of everything that happened, from going to the ER, getting transferred in the EMS to go to Levine's, it was probably 6:30. I woke up from sleeping probably 6 hours. I woke up really hot. I was like, Mom, you need to check my temperature. And she took my temperature, and it came back like 103.2. And my mom was just like, do you feel okay? Is everything going on? I was like, I feel fine. I just know something's not right. And then by that time, it was funny because she said, come on, let's go to the ER. They need to figure out something. And I was like, I'm not going unless I get Dunkin'.
Oh, yeah. So we had to go to Dunkin' Donuts just to get her to the emergency room. By the time we got to go see the doctor and be admitted pretty much, they said we were going to send us home because her temperature went down to 101 and they couldn't help us. And then all of a sudden,
I started pouring sweat.
She just couldn't even hold her. It was everywhere. And the doctor standing behind the nurse. He said, she's really sick. I need her. We need to take her back really fast.
And then, you could hear him take his walkie-talkie and was just like, we need to send her back ASAP. Whenever they did tell me that my white blood cells, just because all of the classes I took in high school, I was just like, that means there's an infection somewhere, and they haven't found it over the 5-month span, and this is not okay. And then,
so what did the doctor do?
They came back from the scan, and he looked at me, and he came right beside me and squatted down and got face to face with me. I was just like, you're safe now. And all of a sudden, I was just like, oh, okay, what does that mean? And then he was just like, and then he looked at Mom, looked at me, and he said, you have lymphoma. And I'm just like, Mom, what's lymphoma?
What's that? What is that?
And then she's just like, baby girl, you got cancer. We finally found an answer, and then we just started laughing, and all I could do was smile about it because I was so relieved, weight just got off my shoulders, and I was like, yes, finally. The next morning, they were just back to back to back, and they were just talking about the type of treatment I need, if I need radiation or chemo. And then by that time, because I already know chemo is just all right, I'm about to lose my hair. So I asked them, and I was just like, am I going to lose my hair? And they were like, yeah. And I just started crying. I was also blessed that I didn't have a long-term anything like chemo. And it's only 6 months, so I'll be done in December. So just to get the diagnosis of what type of lymphoma I did have, they had to take a surgery in my bone marrow in my hips. So they took that back. The next day they said, I'm sorry, but we didn't get a diagnosis off of it, so we're going to have to take a sample of one of your lymph nodes that's closest that we can get to. So they did take a lymph node out the side near my shoulder, collarbone area. And pretty much from then, they said, we're also going to put your port in. And I was just like, okay.
3 surgeries and...
3 surgeries later, I woke up and I was just like, okay, the hard part's over with. Then we went home after 7 days in the hospital.
which was
And
amazing there. Levine's Children is just...
I got free Chick-fil-A, so I was happy.
free Chick-fil-A. It's the little things in life. It is.
And then all this, I could not stop smiling. Like, everybody was just like, oh, I hope you feel better. Oh, this and that, giving me hugs, like crying. I'm just like, don't cry. Please don't, because I'm happy about it. You should be happy about it. I just took an outlook on life just with a positive, like, thinking, and it's been great ever since, because that time I was just like, I can't be negative about this. I told my mom, I was just like, I'm beating it. By the first PET scan, everything's going to be gone. And by the first PET scan,
2 months.
two little spectacles are left. And I'm just like, I told you, Mom, I'm beating it.
So this turkey decides to ask me for hitting lessons. She's a big softball player, and she's been playing since she was 6. And now being in high school, it's one of her dreams to play varsity. So she asked me to go to hitting lessons with Coach Patrick, and so I set it up. But when we left Levine that first week, and it wasn't but a month later, they just wanted her to walk to the mailbox and back, if we could do that. Then ended up going and interviewing for different jobs, so she lands a job at Papa Doc's. And, I mean, there was just, grades are great. She's going to school. And just recently, I know that one of her biggest things is, as she said, being 16, is her hair. So it was a day where I think every parent doesn't have the right words to say, and sometimes you just have to be quiet and walk away and just ask God for help and the right words. And I went out to the mailbox, and she was just having one of those bad days. And as positive as we are, everyone needs to know there are some tough days. And I walked out there, and I opened up this letter from Wigs for Kids, because we're waiting for the natural wig to come in. And it was a letter giving us a little bit of an update, and then it gave us a girl had written us a letter, and I'm thinking, who's this girl writing us a letter from college? And she had donated her hair
For me, for the wig, so it's going to be like a natural looking way.
and she submitted her pictures. And I think that's where you know that it's coming from somebody that she doesn't know who she's helping. And she didn't know that exact day was a rough day for us. And to think that she gave us those pictures, she's a senior in college, and she is, like Peyton said, won't have her hair back. I mean, yeah, I'm sure there's medicine for alopecia, but we're upset for 6 months of no hair, and the next 6 months after let it grow. And I think it was the peace that we got from her, knowing that we're not alone in the journey. Other people, some have it worse than we do, and we think it's really bad. And that she took the time to donate this hair for my daughter that's having a struggle with that part of cancer. Being able to watch her over the last 6 months or 4 months, 6 months really, go from really hell to healing and having peace in our life is one of the main things that I can take as a mom, knowing that she's going to be okay in the future. A couple friends of mine, many various ones, which was quite funny, that kept contacting me and saying, have you heard about this charity? And I'm like, yeah, it's in our backyard. I've been to it twice. You know, we've donated to it. And here it is, twofold, threefold coming back at us. And when Lake Wiley Charity asked me what I needed, I jokingly said a washer and dryer. And it wasn't but the next day that thing showed up. And it's just minimal maybe to somebody. And that was just really huge for us too, to get through it. And then they surprised us with taking care of our rent for the year. I'm just a bloody mess. It's just, you live in a community, but you have to throw yourself out there. You have to be involved, and it comes back to you. So we just thank you so much, Lake Wiley Children's Charity, for committing your focus on us and the other families that you have here.
Faith's got me through a lot. And I just think back to it, I'm just like, man, God's an amazing person. And I mean, some people don't have the same beliefs, but at the same time, with everything going on, He's just been there through thick and thin. I know you have, but she's like human. I'm gonna get through this. I have hope. I have like the attitude and effort to get through this and know that I'm going to beat this, and I'll do anything I can.